Good evening. Welcome to M1's English language news, Hungary Reports. I'm Híradó with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's get started. The first phase of the vehicle industry test track, unique in Europe, is complete in Zalaegerszeg. A part of the smart city was also built, along with tracks that can be used to test future technologies and self-driving cars. The government hopes that the world's leading car manufacturers will also use the track. At the inauguration, Viktor Orbán said that the Hungarian economy and the country's competitiveness can only be further reinforced if, I quote, "we protect our borders and preserve the country's safety."
After 2 years of construction, test runs can begin on the Zalaegerszeg automotive industry test track. Several track modules were completed in the project's first stage. The so-called manageability track is already in use as well. This is a 2-kilometer-long track where we will test the stability systems, the steering systems, the braking systems, as well as the lane-keeping functions, the ministerial commissioner said. Engineers can test the vehicles on a 300-meter diameter circle track that is a dynamic surface where the so-called moose test can be carried out, which examines the vehicle's stability. In addition to that, an 800-meter road leading to the track is equipped with different surfaces suitable for testing the efficiency of the braking system. The 5-hectare area of the smart city was also opened, where engineers are able to improve the operation of self-driving cars and trucks. We need to preserve our identity, protect our security, and strengthen our competitiveness. Hungarians need to focus on these 3 things after a series of European crises, said Viktor Orbán. In connection with the European parliamentary elections, the Prime Minister said that the continent, as he put it, is not in good state. That is why the election at the weekend will be particularly important. The financial and migration crisis, topped with Brexit, warns us that if we do not stay focused, if we do not choose the right leaders, if we do not make good decisions and take courageous actions, then it may lead to Europe's permanent decline, and after many centuries, our continent could be excluded from among the major players of the world, the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister expects the Zalaegerszeg test track to grow into a regional professional hub that attracts the whole region and may even have major European appeal. Viktor Orbán called it a national interest that automotive companies think of Hungary not simply as a production and assembly site, but as an opportunity to gain a competitive edge in development as well.
Central Asia has a significant role in the action against radical ideologies and terrorists. Péter Szijjártó announced in the capital of Turkmenistan. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade emphasized that everything that happens in Central Asia has an immediate effect in Europe from a security perspective, so we need to support these countries.
Everything that is happening here in Central Asia has an immediate effect on Europe in terms of safety. Therefore, we need to support the countries here to protect their borders, to stop illegal migration flows, and to prevent the members of terrorist organizations from moving to Europe.
Almost 200,000 people have signed a farmers' petition launched against decreasing EU funding for agriculture. According to the Minister of Agriculture, the number of supporters is well above their expectations. The signature collection began 2 months ago. According to the Chamber of Agriculture, the European Commission is planning to significantly decrease financial support for farmers in the next EU cycle, and they want to stop that with the petition.
This farmer in Minszent is one of the nearly 2,000 supporters of the farmers' petition. We need these different kinds of European Union funding programs to be able to feed Europe's population with food that is safe and what they need, he said. Hungarian farmers began collecting signatures at the end of February when they heard that Brussels was preparing to decrease agricultural funds. According to the European Commission, they need to cut funding because of Brexit. But farmers say they do not accept that at the same time the EU would increase the sum of money spent on migrants. The president of the Hungarian Farmers Association, István Jakab, said that support could decrease by more than 25%. As the president of the Hungarian Chamber of Agriculture put it, that would be a devastating blow to the Hungarian agricultural industry. That would, of course, affect the income capabilities of Hungarian farmers, employment in the whole industry branch, their competitiveness, and last but not least, investments as well, the president said. According to experts, decreasing funding could drive the price of food up and the number of cheap, low-quality import products on the market would increase. The Minister of Agriculture said that it's outrageous that Brussels wants to fund immigrants instead of reinforcing European agriculture. We will do everything in order to protect Hungarian farmers and the Hungarian agricultural industry from Brussels' plans. The most important step for that is the European parliamentary elections this Sunday. This is a decisive event for all Europe, Hungary, and for Hungarian farmers. We have to replace this pro-migration Brussels leadership because they subordinate everything to the interests of migrants, he said. According to István Nagy, Hungarian farmers' signatures give a strong mandate for the Hungarian government to keep fighting.
New development projects are starting off at Lake Balaton and the Balatonfelvidék, the region to the north of the lake. Their objective is to help the region make it onto the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. The renovation and development of 8 sites will cost more than 9 million euros altogether. Hungary currently has 8 World Heritage Sites.
Adventure promenades on Badacsony Hill and around Lake Hévíz. Experience-based exhibits in the Castle of Szigliget, the Folly Arboretum and the Tihany Abbey. And preservation in the Festetics Palace in Keszthely and the Eszterházy Palace in Balatonfüred. These development projects may be realized in the cultural region of the Balatonfelvidék out of more than 9 million euros of EU funding. The goal is that this group of 8 sites be included on the UNESCO World Heritage List. We are currently on the list of the Hungarian government's prospective World Heritage List, and our goal is to be the foremost location that the Hungarian government will present to UNESCO to decide whether it is suitable to be selected as a World Heritage Site, the director said. One of the biggest investments of the development program will be the renovation of the Eszterházy Palace in Balatonfüred, which will be realized from a grant of nearly 2.5 million euros. The City Council has been waiting for years to make it possible for the building of the reform era to regain its former beauty. Most construction works at the sites of the World Heritage applications in Zala and Veszprém County will begin in the autumn and are expected to be completed in 2020.
An arms and saber exhibit is open at a museum located at the foot of the Sümek Castle. Visitors can see stabbing and cutting weapons and firearms from the Ottoman occupation era to today. From soldiers' sabers to noblemen weapons and flint rifles to cannons. There is also an exhibit showing the military operations and campaigns of the 1848-49 revolution. And staying in Sümek, Veszprém County, at the highest point of the town's city center, there is a Baroque-style church that was built in 1649, consecrated in the name of Virgin Mary. Its ceiling is decorated with paintings that depict the Virgin Mary's life, and its pulpit has sculptures of Archangel Gabriel and the 4 evangelists. Its biggest decoration is the Pietà sculpture made in the 16th century that is said to have miraculous powers. Locals believe that anyone who touches it heals from their sickness. That's all for today. You can catch Hungary reports after the 11 p.m. Hungarian news and online. Stick around for our other foreign language news broadcasts. Thanks for watching. Good night.